Did anybody ever think about no tillage? What about this conservation? Let's try it. Now Donnie wouldn't allow that on this farm today because he makes sure everything is spick and span, but when we started the first no-till experiments, and I want to recognize another person that's back in Lexington very ill right now, and that's Shirley Phillips. We played around with the idea of no tillage, and we put that on the backside. We wouldn't dare let some of you critics come and drive by the road and see all those weeds in that stuff. And we had some key farmers down in Christian County and Trigg County and some of the surrounding counties working with us. We finally figured out how to control those weeds. We finally figured out how to get fertilizer to corn and you didn't plow it in. We finally then took that and said, well, gee, if you don't have to plow, let's get 2 crops out of that land a year rather than just 1 crop out of that land. So double cropping came into existence. And invariably, if you've had on your TV the last few months, you've seen a commercial, and I think it's Archer Daniels has the commercial, the significant contribution of no-till conservation tillage is to feeding the hungry people of the world. Now, next time you see that, remember, that started at the Princeton station. I guess I would point out one other detail thing. And today we hear less and less about tobacco. Sometimes our scientists are threatened by the fact, are you working on tobacco? Folks, as long as we have a viable farm industry there and farmers are trying to make a living out of it, we are obligated to continue to try to get some answers. And the answers from a standpoint of disease and insect control in tobacco by rotation of crops is really the heart of integrated pest management today, which is an international acclaim. And I want to likewise recognize in the past a lot of that started right here on these acres within sight of this tent. I point out these two to conclude my comments to say, this process of research is to discover things. It's to try new ideas. It's to get information that you can get additional information, and eventually you get all that put together and it leads into something that becomes a very profitable operation. The reason research has that kind of value, it's tied to extension, it's tied to education. We see it in the classrooms of our colleges and universities, in our VOAG programs. We have it in our 4-H programs, but ultimately we have to take that out there to the farm where the farmer puts it to use. And we tie that together again through those people involved in the service sectors, in the industry sectors. And ultimately, the challenge is, how do we do that and return a good net return to those producers?